The 49ers will have a great defense next season, but it won't be as great as it was last season. DeForest Buckner's loss will hurt the 49ers' run defense and their pass rush, which in turn will hurt their pass coverage, meaning Buckner's loss will impact the entire defense. That's just the way it is. Don't take my word for it, though. Listen to the remaining defensive leaders on the 49ers: Fred Warner, DJ Jones, Nick Bosa, and Eric Armstead. Here's what each of them had to say about the 49ers trading Buckner.
Yeah, Buck, he was everything you would want in a teammate, in a player. He did everything right, and so he led by example every day, came to work. He's probably one of the hardest workers I've ever seen in practice, and it showed up on game day, obviously, as everybody's seen, throughout his career. And so we'll miss him a lot. There's some big shoes to fill. Obviously, we drafted Javon in the first round to try and ease that transition. But I mean, it's gonna be tough without Buck. That's a very, very talented D-line group that we have, and I still have full confidence in those group of guys.
Buck was just an all-around leader as far as showing by example. He was always on time. Buck was the guy. Buck was, if you want to know how to do something right, watch Buck. But just losing those two guys is tough. But we have enough leaders in the room like Eric, even a young Bosa, DeForest, guys that can step up and fill that role.
Yeah, Buck was definitely one of my best friends on the team, and seeing him go is obviously bittersweet. He's obviously got a pretty good contract and he deserves it, but just losing him as a leader, we're gonna have to really figure out how to step up and fill that void, because he was the third down D-line play caller. He was the hype speech guy. He was everything. And I think he played with the best effort on the D-line, which really shows on tape when you see somebody that big sprinting to the ball every play and making those tackles downfield. And obviously his pass rush ability. We're going to have to step up. We have obviously Javon coming in, and I'm sure he'll be a huge help. But me, D, Eric, Solly, DJ, we're all, Ronnie, we're all going to have to step it up for him.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say, excuse me, I wouldn't say I personally, thought about that as a possibility. Yeah, I figured, there would be a way that we, be able to continue playing together, but things happen how it happened, So, but losing Defo, he's an irreplaceable player, a leader, a staple in our organization. So there's definitely going to be a void there that not just one person is going to be able to fill. It's going to, be a team effort, especially, our unit and our defensive line. We're all going to have to pick it up and, to fill that void. So I think we're up for it. I think we have a great group of guys that, and we have a great team. I don't feel like we were relying on just, 3 guys throughout the year when we needed to play or we needed leadership. That it was a group effort, and guys at their own times had, stepped up and made big plays in the entirety of the roster. So I think we're built the right way to adjust to something like this. And moving forward, I expect, me and a whole host of my teammates stepping up in leadership ways on the field and making plays and, filling that void.
I have 3 big takeaways from what those 4 players just said. 1, DeForest Buckner was the guy on the defense. That's what DJ Jones said, and the other 3 agreed with him. What does the guy mean? Well, it doesn't necessarily mean Buckner was the best player on the defense, although he was. It means he set the standard for everyone else. He showed them how to work in the meetings. He showed them how to practice. He showed them how to talk to the media. He showed them how hard they were expected to play every snap in the NFL. He set the standard. Every team needs someone who does that. Joe Staley used to do it. Justin Smith used to do it. That was DeForest Buckner. The Niners don't have anyone else on their defense currently who did it like Buckner did, and someone's going to have to step up. 2, Nick Bosa explained exactly what the new standard setters on the defensive line is going to have to do, because Buckner was the guy who called the defensive line plays on third down. Who's going to do that next? And Buckner was the guy who ran the hardest during plays, meaning a pass rusher's first job is to get the quarterback, but the quarterback throws the ball, completes it to someone. Is the pass rusher's job over? No, the play's still going on, and Buckner would chase after the ball. He was fast. He would get there and make tackles down the field. Someone needs to replace that too, and the implication is in both counts, the guy who calls the plays and the guy who hustles the hardest needs to be Eric Armstead, because he's the vet, he's the guy making $17 million, and he's the guy who's on the 49ers. He's the reason Buckner's gone. Buckner's on the Colts so the 49ers could keep Armstead and a few other players. Armstead knows it. Bosa knows it. The whole team knows it. So Armstead needs to step up and be more than just a talented player. He needs to be a consistent leader and hard worker every day, because that's what Buckner was. Number 3, Armstead acknowledged that he needs to do that. He said that Buckner was the staple of the organization, and by implication, Armstead isn't. Armstead's had one good year, very talented. Now he knows he needs to step up, but he made a great point. He said, it's not just me who needs to step up, it's everyone who needs to step up. And he's right, because the defining characteristic of the 49ers defense last season wasn't Buckner going crazy or Armstead going crazy. It was that any player, any one of the 11 guys on the Niners defense at any time could make the play. It could be K'Wan Williams blitzing. It could be Jaquiski Tart blitzing. But it wasn't just DeForest Buckner. That's true. But I got one thing I want to add on to what Armstead said. The biggest reason that anyone could be a threat on the Niners defense last season, Armstead, Tart, K'Wan Williams, was because of Buckner. Remember, Buckner called those third down defensive line plays, meaning he willingly sacrificed himself and made himself a decoy. How'd he do that? Well, on 3rd and 5, instead of putting himself in a pass rushing position, like 3 technique between the guard and the tackle, where he has some space, he put himself at nose tackle, right in the middle of the line, which means he's not going to get the sack, but he's going to draw so much attention that someone else will. He sacrificed himself. Who's going to do that next season? And then who's going to be the guy who hustles down the field? It's got to be Armstead. Is he ready? Can he do it?